ever feel you're just drowning in a sea of problems as life hits you? Like a storm, as wave after wave just knocks you off your feet again and again? Well, interestingly, the disciples found themselves in a very similar situation. They were in a terrible storm of life. And here's the story, and I'll read it fairly quickly so as not to take up too much time. And it comes from Matthew 14:22. Immediately, Jesus made the disciples get into the boat and go ahead of him to the other side while he dismissed the crowd. After he dismissed them, he went up on the mountainside by himself to pray. Later that night, he was there alone, and the boat was already a considerable distance from the land, buffeted by the waves because the wind was against it. Shortly before dawn, Jesus went out to them, walking on the lake. When the disciples saw him walking on the lake, they were terrified. "It's a ghost," they said, and cried out in fear. But immediately Jesus said to them, "Take courage, it is I, don't be afraid." "Lord, if it is you," Peter replied, "tell me to come to you on the water." "Come," Jesus said. Then Peter got down out of the boat, walked on the water, and came towards Jesus. But when he saw the wind, he was afraid, and beginning to sink, cried out, "Lord, save me." Immediately Jesus reached out his hand and caught him. Wow, can you imagine this? You're sitting in a fishing boat in the middle of a terrible storm, and for fishermen to be afraid, it must have been seriously bad. But then Jesus comes walking towards you on the water. Like, I'm not sure what would be more worrying, the storm or Jesus walking on the water towards me. But listen, this amazing story is here to encourage us. The first point is that you can be absolutely assured that in the midst of any storm, trial, or difficulty, Jesus is only a few steps away from you. The second point is he's calling to you right now to look away from your personal storm and to take a step away from it by looking directly to him. That's done through prayer. And when you do, you will find the storm becomes insignificant in his presence. The third point is that after Peter took that first step of faith, the miraculous took place and he walked on the water. He became a conqueror of the storm and not a victim. He looked to Jesus, and that enabled him to walk above life's problems. That's amazing, isn't it? The fourth point is that it suddenly went all wrong. It went pear-shaped on him again, and the storms overtook him, and he began to sink. Why? Well, simply because he took his eyes off of Jesus and looked again at the storm around him. Look, this story is about staying focused. This is about keeping your thoughts and your mind in prayer on the promises of God. When you do this, you cannot help but rise above the storms of life. Pray, praise, and the promises of God will enable you to walk on water. So, Peter took his eyes off of Jesus and began to sink. But hey, if you want to know just how much Jesus loves you and cares for you, when Peter began to sink, Jesus reached out and grabbed him by the hand. He kept the storm from overtaking Peter. My conclusion? Look, you can sit in the boat in the middle of a storm and still be safe because God will care for you. Or you can put the storm beneath you and beneath your feet and walk in the miraculous simply by focusing on Jesus. God bless you and take care.